everybody. Welcome back. I hope that you've been having a great week. We are going to dive into our reading for the upcoming week, see what's going on. We're getting close to Halloween where the veil is thin. So these are exciting times. You might be having vivid dreams already. I have been. I don't remember all of them, but I know I've been all over the place. Our guides this week are Mother Mary and Jesus. And the message I heard right before I jumped on here was this one. It was about peace. And it says, peace lives in your heart. Find it. Tap into that eternal source of peace anytime you feel you're in conflict with the world and others. So a message for us to tap into sources of peace. Have you been feeling unpeaceful lately? I feel like, as always, there's a lot going on. So it's a little bit difficult to stay grounded and to feel that peace within the heart. We're going to start off by unboxing a new deck that I got, which is just this tarot spreads. So I think it's based on a book, but it's just a card deck of all different kinds of spreads. Isn't that nice? So it's my first time using it. So we'll pick one of these for the week. We'll shuffle about and see what it tells us. It has like a little pamphlet, but it doesn't have a guidebook with it, but there's an explanation on the front and the back. So I feel that this is so far a pretty good deal. We'll see if it gives us a good message. And we'll see what our guides want to tell us for the week. What's going down? What can we expect? We're on the tail end of coming up to a Mercury retrograde. So I think in the shadow side, we're feeling a lot of difficulties with communications, especially if your house is ruled by Mercury, like I'm a sun sign Virgo. I really feel it very strongly. So I think this might be a powerful one for us. So, okay, this is the one we're going to go with. This is what I hear we are doing. So this is the spread we're going to do for the week, and it's change. And the first one is, this is about relationships. So you'll see on the back of this deck, it also gives you the questions. So I'm going to go with this and see where it leads us. Again, if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. If you feel like it's not meant for you, leave it behind. Share it with someone else maybe. And we're going to go with this goddess deck first, because that's what I hear. That's what I hear we should do. Okay. And then we're going to just use regular tarot for the rest. Okay, so this is a very interesting message here. So our first card, which is this goddess card that they wanted us to think about. Now, these are the dark goddess deck that I have. So what does that mean, right? You can take a look at the picture here. These tend to work with our shadow side, things like that. It might pull up concepts that are a little bit heavier. Again, apply it where need be to you. If you don't feel like it does, then that's okay too. So this one is, I cannot pronounce this. Tiamat. Again, I am so positive I am saying it incorrectly. And this is about control. Let's see what it tells us. Don't get swept away. You love everything to be how you want it to be and have tendencies to want to be in control, forgetting that this isn't always the way of the world. Well, I mean, I don't know if this message is for everybody. This message is certainly for me. You have the best of intentions and your need of power has to be relinquished. Tiamat swims through the primordial seas of chaos to urge you to surrender, for she knows only all too well the catastrophic consequences control can bring. Allowing all to unfold naturally will ensure that any outcome will turn out in perfect order, and more often than not, better than anyone could have imagined. This means instead of trying to dominate every situation to turn out your way, you can relax and enjoy the process. Dare to let go. What a really good message. And then, so some of this also, the concepts related to this is you're more powerful than you think. If you tend not to exert your authority, be mindful that someone could be trying to influence you, and walk away from those who don't serve your highest good. So, and then also a message to investigate your past lives to heal fears of persecution. Have you felt like past life stuff? Maybe in those dreams, if you've been having those intense dreams. But so the question for this particular spread that we were doing, that again was with change, was, so the first card was about a change I'm facing in my romantic life. Are you having to give up control of something? Now, again, I said these cards could be working with our shadow side. So what does that mean? You know yourself. So if you tend to not exert your control or authority of a situation, this may be asking you if that's something that you need to work on, that you need to be working on your asserting your opinion. Your opinions are valid. Again, you know yourself. If you are someone who often gives their opinion and can run a little bit controlling of situations, and again, I don't say that as a negative, because all of us have those, flip sides to ourselves, right? To our personalities. The best thing is knowing ourselves, and when we feel spurred into these kinds of things. I don't know. The lights are going woohoo in my room, so I know we have a lot of spirits here. Have you been seeing flashing lights all this week too? I've been seeing them on overdrive here. But so this card is meaning two ways. If you're someone who's already in a relationship, think about the ways that you can maybe let go of things, especially if you feel like you're the doer. If you're the doer in your relationship and you feel like, I got to do this myself because otherwise it might not get done. And maybe that's valid. Maybe, you've always been the person who takes charge, or you feel like if you don't take charge, it's just not going to happen. And maybe that's real for you. I think your spirit guides are asking you, is there a place where you can let go of something, right? It could be something small. Also, if you're someone who's diving into a relationship or is seeking one, or is maybe if there's any of you out there who are thinking about online dating or something like that, or thinking about getting back out there, look for patterns. Right. And you know how this card was talking about past life patterns? Think about those past life patterns and what they mean for you. Do you see that you have always had a similar pattern? You start off a certain way, but maybe you don't assert yourself. Look out for those things. That'll help you weed through people pretty quickly. I know that sounds terrible, but you got to look out for yourself. With this, in terms of these relationships, because you may not just connect with someone if you don't really give your full self, what you're really about. So this is our guiding message, and our guide who's here with us for this particular reading. I'm going to pull some other cards after too, because I hear there's more for us to know. But our next one is going to talk about how that change is affecting me emotionally. And for that, we get the Ace of Wands. So what are they trying to tell us here? The new beginning that we're seeking for growth is difficult for us to obtain right now. And I think that we want that growth. I think that those of us are looking for that. This is the Ace of Wands here. We're looking for this new beginning, this new me, this new growth, but we feel like a little bit stifled right now. Now that could be with what's going on, right? There's with some of these retrograding planets and things like that. That affects some of us, or some of us who are really connected to the cycles of the moon and things like that. You know who you are if you're that person. But for other people, I think relinquishing the control, what I hear is that relinquishing the control of something, especially if you've always needed to be like the alpha person in a relationship, for example, that is going to be the thing that helps you grow and move forward. Does that make sense? Right? So again, if you have been the person, so there's two separate readings, right, for everybody in the collective here. If you stop, think, do a little bit of jotting down or journaling. Are you someone who's always felt like you needed to be the primary person, right? And again, this is not to criticize you, right? This isn't to criticize yourself. Practice self-care for yourself, but know yourself, right? Do you feel like I need to be the take charge person, otherwise stuff's not going to happen? I feel like this often. So you know who you are. You're probably somebody with strong leadership tendencies too, right? But so we're talking about in relationships though. You are either that person who feels like it's not going to get done. They're asking you how you can soften that, how you can let go of some things to help your spiritual growth. It will help you grow spiritually, help you grow in your relationship. Or if you're just getting started or looking for the right partner, and you're someone who does not assert yourself, or you've been struggling with boundaries, or that's been an issue for you in the past with relationships where you didn't always say what you wanted, or maybe you didn't find your voice, maybe you didn't know what you wanted. I see that some of you are probably people who are like, well, I just went along with it. I hear some of you saying like, well, I'm easy, like I'm easy to get along with. I'll just go with the flow. That might not be serving you a purpose any longer. Maybe that was okay before. Maybe you hadn't found your voice, but now maybe you've done some reading or you're deep into something and you're like, no, I know my voice now, but maybe you don't feel confident to assert your voice. Your growth lies in knowing when to push and when to pull. So difficult right now, right? The best way is to stop before you get started and to think about your patterns and who you're about. Again, all of us have that shadow side to us. It's again not a negative thing, but helps us know where we need to lean into softness at times or lean into a more assertive self. Okay? I hope that's making sense. We're going to go into the third card for this one, which is down here. And this is the 10 of Cups. And the question with this one is how I can take care of myself in the face of this change. Now, the 10 of Cups is a great card usually, right? It means that we are having emotional fulfillment and we are at the completion of something that we have been seeking for a long time. But in relation to this question, how can I take care of myself in the face of this change? They're telling me that everything that you are hoping for, that you are wanting, which I think for some of you is you just want to have like a peaceful, happy life. You just want to have security. You want to have a partnership with somebody, and that's your ideal, right? You see it in your head. Like, I just want that person who gets me, who's easy to get along with, who is understands me at some sort of soul level, right? And with knowing when to give up control or when to assert control, this is going to be something that will help you get to this, to having this thing that you're looking for, which is to have this a real partnership too, is what I hear, like a really solid partnership where you feel that it's someone who is helping you grow. It's someone who's helping you grow. It's somebody who's growing with you, who is probably but challenging you, but in a good way, is helping you see things. Probably a deep person, right? So that is how that is helping you. Now we're moving into our fourth card of this spread, which is the Two of Wands. And the question on this one is, a new energy this change is bringing into my life. So more growth. How this is changing you, this Two of Wands here, is you're firm where you are right now, right? So you feel like, well, I'm solid right now. So if you are looking for a relationship, you probably are feeling like, well, I'm good. I'm feeling solid. However, you're also looking out this way to say, well, how could I enhance it? How could I enhance my life and make it better? Again, this person is on their own, and the partnership, I think they know if they're on their own, if you're single listening to this, is that partnership will help me get to my goals. That's going to help me grow. That's going to help me in the long run, and it's going to open me up to helping other people in my community in some way too, because I hear that they are connected, because working together in the partnership is what will help you fuel your own personal agenda, but also connected to other people and the larger world. So if you are already in relationship, think about how you could ask your partner to help you. how you could ask them to help you for your growth. Again, maybe you don't know this yet. Maybe this is something you need to stop and do a little bit of soul searching, do a little bit of journaling and writing on, and figure out what that is. Because I think that for some people, you might just be awakening. Like you might just be thinking about these concepts now. Maybe you didn't have a lot of time to think before. Maybe you were always on the go. Again, I know some of you listening are people who are going to be on the go people. And so meaning what? It's harder for you to stop and listen and discern the messages, because if you're always on the go and you're keeping your mind occupied, it's hard. That's what's good about being bored sometimes. And of course, we are in society where we don't want us to be bored ever. That's why, even if we're waiting for like 2 seconds somewhere, we'll whip out our cell phones because we don't, for when we'll scroll, because we don't want to be bored. But sometimes that boredom and that free space, right, will help us discern things and put together puzzle pieces of our soul that we hadn't thought about before, right? So, and you could do that through tarot and oracle cards. If you don't have a deck yet, get one. See, play around with it, right? Shut off all your media for a little bit and see what kind of messages. You could do that just by, if you don't know how to read the cards yet, you could do that just by staring at the imagery in the cards, right? So pick imagery that you like if you're just looking for a deck, and see how that is adapted to you, how that's meaningful for you. Now, our final one with this particular read this card, and I like this deck. I would encourage you on this deck. This one is how I can embrace this new energy. So this is the final outcome of the reading, is how I can embrace this new energy. But you can see this is 2 of Swords here. So what does that mean for us? Just as I was, if you are just stuck in like regret or deep thinking about the past and past situations, especially if you've been in prior relationships that didn't work out for you, or you feel like you're not sure where you're going now, maybe yes, do deep thinking. Don't get stuck in just thinking. You at some point need to like this shows you, take off the blinders and move forward. And if you feel you do not have clarity, you don't know the answer, the answer comes in stillness. The answer comes in sitting still and taking some time for yourself. And I know that is difficult for some of us to just sit about, right? It's hard to just sit still. If you get moments to do that, lean into that, because that is where you will find the answers to moving forward. Okay, so that is our message for this. For this card, for our new deck here. So I liked that. I thought that was a good one. Now let's see what other messages they have for us collectively outside of that for the week. And this fell while I was shuffling, so we'll go with this one. And then we have a few other messages, and it's the Chariot. You have choices and decisions to make, and you're making them on your own, right? So, and you know the way to go. That's what they tell me. You know the way to go, but it's difficult sometimes. You don't feel like you have all of the resources you need, or it feels like it's so far away, this thing that you have been hopeful for or wanting. But your guides want to let you know that you can do this. You can move forward. Keep planting the seeds, keep doing the growth, keep doing the work. These small things might not seem like a lot to you, but they are going to add up to a lot as you keep moving forward. You're much further along than you thought you were. So they're asking you to stop and look at your growth too. Look at where you were and where you are now, because I think you may not be appreciating how far you've come. And I think they want you to know that. But you will have decisions to make, yes. And now is a good time for you to build up your reserves, build up your energy, so that when it's time for you to jump on a new opportunity, a new thing that will be coming up, you could do that. You could do that much easier, right? So now you're like laying the foundation, laying the work out. And a lot of this you're doing for yourself. You're doing it for yourself. You're trying to figure out, this is where I need to go. This is where I need to be. This is what makes my soul sing. And again, I think this is all connected to our relationships with each other, with community, our loved relationships also. Now, I hear that we are going to pull some angel cards and see what our message is from our angel guide. And then I want to tell you about a book I'm reading. So we're getting Archangel Mallory. Archangel Mallory. And the message here is remember who you are. Take action when you are ready. That is very connected to that Chariot card we just pulled. Now, I don't think I've ever spoken to Archangel Mallory before, but we'll see what's said here. So Archangel Mallory is the divine feminine, and so steps down her healing light from the Pleiades and enters Earth through Bethlehem. Interesting. Okay, so the message for this card is letting you know that you have a lot of ancient wisdom within you, right? There's that past life energy, and they want you to know that you can access this, and it's the time to access this and bring it forward to help yourself and others. Remember, those relationships will help us with our growth and help us with ourselves, our partnerships, but also community, right? And you are required to delve deep into your inner being and access long forgotten understandings, symbols, and information. I will say, remember those vivid dreams I was telling you I was having? They tried to connect with us in a way that we understand when we're relaxed. So you might get that through, like if you're a deep meditator, maybe you have had difficulty meditating. They might get you during deep rest. So it's hard though, right? Because sometimes you don't remember all the dreams. I have found the thing that helps me the most is to keep like a notepad and write down any bits and pieces as soon as I wake with the dream. Or sometimes I write it in a note in my phone. There's one friend I have in particular where I just texted to her, and that's how I remember stuff. So, but if you do that, that may help you jog your memory too with this ancient wisdom. Also, Archangel Mallory tells us you have earned and learned these on your long soul journey through the universe. When you reach the storehouse of your true deep self, you will be amazed at who you truly are. So this is really on point with the other messages that we heard because, like I was telling you, we know we have all of the answers, but it is difficult sometimes for us to stop, pause, reflect, and see what that is. And this is a time where they want us to delve into who we are meant to be and to shine and reflect who we are meant to be in this light. Okay? And again, we see the bird here, right? It's all about peace. That's what they're telling us. It's all about peace. Now we're going to pull an animal spirit guide to close out for the week. Also a message for us to be prepared for the unexpected this week. Good news coming your way. Miracles. Look for miracles. And then also look for, if you keep seeing 1111, right? Take note of when you see 1111. You'll probably see that a bunch of times this week. Now. This is our spirit animal for the week, let me tell you. The groundhog spirit. Time to let go. I have a groundhog that has been living in my home, a squatter in my backyard, for at least a decade, okay? I mean, everyone's looking for a place, so I let him go, even though he makes my dogs bananas. He's living underneath my shed, not paying any kind of rent for years. Ate tomatoes, destroyed some of my yard, but also I let him live there because he like everybody else, he's just looking for a home, and it's expensive to live, right? So what can you let go of? Time to let go. Let's see what our message is. Endings lead to beginnings, and death is part of life. So this groundhog is here to let you know that it is time to accept the natural ending of something that is no longer serving you. We love to hold on to what is familiar, but our new needs space to arrive so growth can occur. When groundhog spirit appears, there is a sign. There is something in your present situation that you need to let go of so that something new can be born. Absolutely. So, and then I'm going to read some of this protection message also. Have you been relentless in your efforts to revive something that has passed its time and needs to die away? A situation, a relationship, a belief, or a habit that once served you no longer serves you. Perhaps you can let that go. So so this card about renewal and rebirth, what this message is about is for us to think about the things that we don't need around us anymore, and maybe also thinking about why we created those defenses or those things that we needed at the time, because they were to serve a purpose for us. A lot of times they were just to protect us and to help us. But I think now we know, or we probably have felt, well, I don't need that anymore. Or I can choose to grow from this. Again, do this with kindness and and be gentle to yourself also at this time. But think about the things that you can just let go of. Now, this could be an emotion, right? It could be tied to, like we were talking about relationships with before, like that control or that chaos. Maybe you don't need that. Or maybe it's fear or something, or it could be physical things too. Like if you've got a lot of stuff, like I've got lots of stuff. I don't need stuff. So I've been thinking about what things I can let go of and release, because I think that I just don't need them, right? And someone else could use them. So think about anything like that where you could think, I don't really need that anymore. That's something that I could let go of, because letting go of things allows the door for new things to come in. Okay, now that is our message for the week. I hope that has brought some clarity to you. And then I want to just tell you about this book I'm reading. I'm on book 3 of the One of Us is Lying series. This one is One of Us is Back. It's a YA series by Karen McManus, right? And it's pretty good. If you like YA, it's got a bit of mystery and intrigue and murder to it. I love death and murder. I know. I'm a little bit behind on my reading of this because I am a migraine sufferer. When I have bad migraines, sometimes for days in a row, I can't read. So it makes it worse. So I have been watching spooky movies on Netflix because it is fall and spooky season. But I would recommend this. So if you're looking for a new, like kind of easy to read YA series, this is pretty good. So it's a totally different time period. This is just set in California. Than the Pretties and the Uglies series, but for some reason it reminds me of that, and I kind of liked that series too. So I definitely would recommend that to you. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful week. If you are new here, please do consider subscribing, share this with someone and like it. And if not, I hope you have a super week. Bye all.